So up till now, we've looked back, we've mapped out where you are, you found your North Star, you've set a goal, and now we're going to talk about how to get there, your roadmap for 2026. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Quality of Life Quest. My name is Anneke. So you're going to translate those goals into actual steps whilst leaving room for miracles. I alluded already to it in the last episode. You want there to be space for synchronicities, for weird things to happen, for meeting that one person who changes your whole life, who puts it on a different path, so reaching your goals is much easier. And if you put in steps too rigidly, then that leaves no room for chance. And you do want that whilst putting in the steps, because if you don't put in the steps, then it's just a dream, isn't it? You know, you've got your goal and you set your goal and you make it smart, but if you don't actually do something about it, how is it going to happen? Yes, you may want to put some energy behind it and maybe sit and meditate for a while. That's all good, that's all well, and it's, you know, visualizing the outcome, brilliant, well done, and taking some steps. You know, you have to push things along every now and then. So I would like you to create a gentle but realistic plan with manageable steps that you put in your diary, and they're non-negotiable. One of the things you can do is accountability. So you've got your goal, you've made it into manageable steps. So if it's a fitness goal, you know, I don't know, if you're going to run on the spot every day for 10 minutes, I don't know. And that will bring you to being able to do a 100-meter sprint by the end of July. I don't know. So you've done that. You have to put it in your diary, or you have to choose a certain time in the day where you can add it onto something in order to make it happen. For the Christmas Advent calendar of 2025, one of the tasks was to choose an exercise, any exercise you want. It doesn't matter what it is, just one simple thing, whether it's you want to be able to touch your toes by the end of the Advent calendar, so from the 1st of December to the 25th of December, every day you practice it, and if you're lucky, by the 25th of December, you're able to touch your toes. Or to juggle some oranges whilst you're waiting for the kettle to boil. And that's one of the things. If you can add it onto something you're doing already, it's easier to remember to get it done. If it's a short thing, so juggling oranges whilst waiting for the kettle to boil, that's a possibility. It's a simple thing. You have to wait for the kettle to boil. Anyway, there's a link you can make in your brain. For other things that take more time, so if you have to go to the gym or you have to work on your finances and one of your goals is to put in 2 hours of extra work per day or per week, you have to plan it in. And it has to be there. It has to be in your diary, and it has to be non-negotiable, because if it becomes negotiable, then it slides down your list of priorities. And that slide is a very slippery slope. And before you know it, it's not happening anymore. Sure, you have set a goal and you have tested it against your North Star and you have made it smart. So you have stacked the deck in your favor already. But another way to do that is to actually book it into your diary. Make sure it works for you. And then accountability is something that works for some people. It doesn't work for others. But, you know, figure out for yourself if that's something that would help you along. One way to do accountability, and you can find lots of things on the internet about it, is give some money to a friend to keep it. And if you do not get your goal, if you don't do what you said you were going to do, then that friend can donate it to a cause that you do not agree with. It's not something I would do, but for some people it works, and it's said to be a really good deterrent for a lot of people. So keep that in mind if you want to. As I said, it's not for me, but apparently it works for a lot of people. Do you prefer ad-free listening and viewing? Would you like to see your questions answered? And how about live Zooms? Would you enjoy discounts on everything from artwork to courses to one-on-one chats with me? Become a founder member. Go to thequalityoflife.quest to find out more. See you on the other side. Most of the time, for me, what works best is to take a whole block of time, whether that's 2 weeks to work on a course or 2 months where I sign myself up for a particular fitness regime. That works best for me. I live north of Hereford, and there was a gym in Gloucester, which is an hour and a half, almost 2 hours away from where I lived at the time. And there was a gym, and they teach in a way that suits me to the bone. I loved it there. And I remember I had done my sports massage training, which had been very intense. I'd been to the Netherlands for quite a while to study, to take exams, to study, to take exams. I can't remember why it was so intense, but it had been a very intense time. I'd been sitting down a lot, and I had been eyeing up that course that they did in Gloucester, where they were teaching fitness in a way that suits me. And I'd been eyeing it up, and they did a certain package. And I can't remember whether it was for a week or a month. Anyway, I decided that at the end of my sports massage course, I was going to treat myself for 2 months at this gym. And those 2 months I would go as often as possible, but at least 3 times a week. And I would go to the gym and stay there as long as I could stay there. That's a lot. That's very excessive, because traveling up and down already takes more than 3 hours. And then being at the gym, it would be several hours as well. So it would take me a good part of the day to be there. And since I committed to at least 3 times a week, that was 2 months well spent. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And my overall well-being, my fitness, it all went up because I spent so much time in the gym. So for me, blocks of time work best. Can I plan something over a longer period of time and achieve my goals? I'm sure I can. It's just for optimum results, it's best that I plan in blocks. You need to decide what works for you. It's so easy to kind of go with the flow and go with all the things you can read and see on social media, and especially this time of the year. And then to think, oh, I have to do this till the end of time. It's, for me personally, it's nicer to say, oh, I'll just do this for a short period of time, because I know I can achieve that. It makes the achievable bit of the SMART easier to achieve. It makes it easier to set the goal. If you are on a roll with a goal and your timing was, let's say, 2 months, and you really enjoy what you're doing and you want to keep it up, you can extend it. There's nothing to say that if your goal is 2 months, that you can't do 4 months or even the rest of the year. It's all fine. It's just when it's contained, it makes it easier to achieve. Short wins, it all adds up. If you set a huge goal and you do not break it up, then it might seem like a huge step to go from here to the end result. And that's why you want to break it down. That's why you want to set small steps that you can achieve, next bit you can achieve, the next bit you can achieve, the next bit you can achieve, and it builds on top of each other. It also gives you a bit of flexibility. You may want to adjust your goal when you get along with it. So maybe after the first week you think, actually, it's not exactly what I want, and you can readjust your goal. Again, it's not set in stone. It's your life. Feel free to adjust. So let's recap the roadmap for 2026. You've looked back, you've mapped out where you are, you've found your North Star, you've set a goal, and now you've broken it down into steps how to get there. Step 1, go for it. Achieve it. Done. Feel good. Next step, set out. Do it. Done. Feel good because you've gotten there. Next step. And so on, and so on, and so on. All the way till you've got your goal. And then you may want to set a new goal. Or you may want to extend on whatever it is you are doing. And leave space for magic to happen. Leave space for surprises. Leave space for serendipity. It exists, and if you are too rigid about your goal setting and about adhering to your steps, and that this is the one way and only way, that's too much. That's too much. There needs to be a little bit of wiggle room so magic can happen. Write down in the comments what you've chosen to do and how you propose to get there. Are you going for an accountability person? So let me know what you've chosen to do, how you're going to get there, and also let me know once you've got there, how it makes you feel. And how much more you can achieve because you've achieved this one goal. It actually was the right goal for you to go for. It was the kind of linchpin that makes other goals more achievable. That would be absolutely amazing. And if it isn't quite that, once you've achieved one, go for the next one. Thank you for listening. May the road rise up to meet you. Until next time, see you. Bye.